when we are meeting for the first time, the
Mhm.
person like it takes time to for us to like understand like how like he will react to us or something. I don't have exact idea about it now. Maybe because of that, he might not be able to communicate properly.
Okay, see, when you are communicating with each other, few things like first is language. You should make sure that you are using such a language which is easily understandable by both of you. Okay,
Yes,
sender
ma'am.
as well as the receiver, both should understand that language. Second, perception. What perception you have made about other person, that also impacts the information you are actually understanding. For example, you are already having a negative perception, so you won't be able to take the right positive exact information from that person, right? The perception matters. Then your past experience, what was your past experience with that person? Then the relevance of the topic, relevance as in actually both of you are genuinely interested in that topic, or being a sender you are discussing something in which receiver is not at all interested, so that distraction will happen and it acts as a barrier again. Last, with these, we keep on using some short forms, right?
Yes, ma'am.
That's our habit. So that doesn't give the exact meaning to the receivers. So these are the common barriers which affect, those these barriers look very small, but they impact the message very badly. Okay.
Like the abbreviations, right, ma'am?
Yeah, abbreviation which you use. Like in the mail. Now everyone knows that, but what we write, FI, FYI, for your information, right?
For your
PFA,
information.
please find attachment. These are the common terms, though, which most of the people are using, but still many are there who are still not aware about these terms. Right? So we should avoid using such kind of abbreviations. Okay, common barriers to effective communication. What are they? The use of overcomplicated, unfamiliar, or technical words. Just to prove ourselves that we know things
Better than them.
better than others, we know some good words, we know the technical terms, we use those words. It's not.
We know the high class English words.
Yes. So that show of thing, no, it actually spoils the message.
Communication. Yeah.
Yes. So that becomes one of the reasons. Second, emotional barrier, as some people may find it difficult to express their emotion. Introvert people, they are unable to share their information, to express themselves, to present themselves. This again act as a barrier only. When you are not expressing yourself, how other person is going to understand you, right? That is not possible. So
Yes.
this again act as a barrier. Lack of attention, intention, distraction, or relevance to the receiver. That's what I told you. Are discussing something in which receiver is not at all interested. That is not his area of interest. His intention is not to listen to you. He just is sitting again and again getting distracted with the things happening around him. So again, that attention, if that attention is not there, so what happens? No, we listen, but only some part. For example, first line we have listened, then we are distracted. Again, we have directly jumped to the second or the third line. In between, some specific terms, some specific words we have already missed. So again, the information is incomplete. Difference in perception and viewpoint. If both of you carry different viewpoint, different perception, both of you are not going to listen to each other. For example, if we take about this culture, the virtual culture, hybrid model, should we go for work from home? Should we go for hybrid model? Should we go for permanent work from home? Or should the offices begin with 9 to 5 job like earlier, the physical offices? Now, three different people having three different views. They are not going to understand each other because everyone will be busy in presenting their points and will be busy in making sure that yes, we give more points to say that yes, our point is valid. If someone is focusing on work from home, he'll say all possible points, ignoring all the negative areas, and he will not even listen to others' point. So that is your viewpoint, your perception. Physical disability such as hearing problem or speech difficulty. This again act as a barrier, common barrier when you are sharing your information. Physical barriers to non-verbal communication as not able to see gestures, postures, body language, etc. This barrier especially when we are into virtual world of communication is going on. There we cannot see the gestures, their postures, their body language, and hence half of the message, no, we are unable to understand whether the words are right or not, because we don't have relevant things to make sure that yes, whatever he is speaking, he actually mean that. His body language, his gestures are showing that thing. That is not there. Then expectation, which may lead to false assumption. If you already set some expectation from others, that will definitely lead to false assumption. One thing is always said that when you are listening, when you are talking to someone, make sure nothing is running in your mind, no perception about that person, no assumptions about what he or she is going to say. These things should not be there in your mind. Then only you can understand the exact and the right context of that message. Cultural difference. One of the most common barrier which is there in all the organization, and it is very difficult to control this cultural differences, like what other cultures say, what they believe, how they react, that is very different. So it is again barrier to effective communication when we are speaking.
Yeah.
Next is barriers to listening. What are the barriers to listening? When we are listening something, what barriers come? Trying to listen to more than one conversation at a time.
Yeah.
When we are focusing on different conversation, and this happens in the organization. Now we are sitting with one group and a friend is sitting with other group. You'll be interested in listening to gossip of both the groups. Like what's happening there? And that is a common human tendency. Whenever some sound reaches our ear, we always try to listen to that sound. And we forget that we are already into some kind of discussion. Even if you are in the meeting, let's go with a virtual thing. Even if you are in the meeting and at home, if you hear some noises, if some conversation is going on, your mind will suddenly get diverted to that. And when you are listening to things all together, definitely there is going to be some missing information, or you will try to complete your in that information, adding your own spices. So again, the proper and the right message has not reached you. Second, you find the communicator unattractive. You are focusing on not the content what he or she is speaking, but your more attention is on how you feel about that personality, how he is dressed up, how he's speaking, his charm, his attractiveness, his postures. You are more focused on their physical appearance rather than the quality of the message he or she is sharing. So when that attractiveness comes, and when you are not attractive with that personality, if you think, no, this personality is just okay, I don't think he's going to be a good speaker, a perception which you have made on basis of his or her physical appearance, you will miss the entire information. You're not interested. A topic in which you are not at all interested, that is again a barrier to listening, because you will not be listening to what other person is saying. Not focusing. Now, not focusing, why not focusing? It can be being distracted, playing with your gadgets, seeing your mobile, playing with your hairs, playing with your hands. These are the distraction, and because of which you are not focusing on what the speaker is saying. Feeling unwell or tired. Just assume when you are back home from your very busy and a tiring day, and all of a sudden someone comes and talk to you or share some important information. You're just hearing to that information, you are not listening. If after some time someone will say, okay, why you aren't ready till now, you'll say, why are we supposed to go somewhere? Though that information was already being shared, but you were so tired, you were not feeling well, that you couldn't understand and listen to that information properly. That happens. So make sure whenever you're talking to someone, if you feel that the person is not well, he or she is very tired, don't share any information, important information during that time. And same happens with you. If you are tired, if you're not feeling good, you can communicate to the speaker that, can we talk after some time, as I am not in a right state of mind to understand and discuss about this problem or this information. Be open, say clearly. It's always better to be clear than to carry a wrong or incomplete information with you. Sixth, identify rather than empathizing. Understanding what you are hearing, understanding what you are hearing, but you are not putting your leg into the shoe of the speaker. That means whatever he is speaking, you're listening to that, understanding, but you are not trying to understand the exact meaning, why he is telling that thing, what he is planning. And how you can know that thing? When you will put yourself in that person's shoe. For example, your friend comes and say that right now I will have to apply for a loan that is required for my business. You have understood that the person is going to take loan. But why he is taking the loan? What is the need? What he is planning? Is he suffering from any losses? You're not trying to get that information. So always when you're speaking, just try to put yourself at that person's place and try to understand. Open your mind to the views of others which they are speaking, rather than putting your own thoughts. If you don't know, ask them why you want to take the loan. What's the reason? Don't put your own thought that, oh, maybe he is trying to expand the business, or maybe he has incurred some losses. The situation can be any. So instead of putting your thoughts, try to ask that person, try to listen with your open mind by asking questions. When your mind will be open, it will not have anything dumped in it. And when nothing will be there, you will have questions so that you can clarify. Do that thing. 7, you are prejudiced or biased. Here, the culture, caste, religion, age, all these things comes in this. On basis of that, very earlier there was assumption related to females, that females cannot prove themselves to be at superior level. They cannot prove their efficiency. So what used to happen, whenever a female used to come up with a suggestion, there used to be a thing like, whether should we go because the suggestion has come from this person. Same thing, not just with female, a groupism, casteism, that happens in the organization. A person from your own caste comes and gives you a suggestion, even if that suggestion is not good, that is not 100% effective, but you will go with that option because on basis of your biasness, on basis of the person has come is from your own religion, from your own culture. Maybe due to the favoritism, someone is your favorite, and if he or she comes up with a solution, we'll go with that. So those things should not happen. Don't be biased. You are holding a position. For you, all people in the organization or in your team have the equal right to present their views and to get their solution selected. So always have that biasness, favoritism away from you when you are leading a team. Yes. You make judgments. Yes, we do. Being a human, this is our favorite pastime to go with the judgment. Even if we don't know someone, someone is just passing by, they are just talking. Seeing those personality, we can even pass the judgment that, oh, this, yeah, he or she looks like this. No, they look very arrogant. They look very rude. He or she is such a nice person, such a friendly person. We make judgments. We judge the person. Never judge a person. You are not the person to judge anyone, right? So stop judging the person's previous experiences, the past experience. If in past a person came up with a very bad solution, the solution didn't work, now you have the same assumption that this solution also won't work. So you're not listening, you are not considering his or her viewpoint. Don't come up with your previous experience. With each passing day, every person learns new thing. With a mistake, they improve. Same thing can happen with them also. So always listen with open mind and consider their point also. Having a closed mindset. We are closed, we don't want to listen to anyone. We are okay with whatever we are thinking. And that act as a barrier to listening. Next, some signs of ineffective listening. How that happen? Lack of eye contact with speaker. Right? If you're not having proper eye contact, will it affect our listening?
Yeah, ma'am.
Right?
Like when you're like exactly like listening to the people, you will look into them and like you talk, you make a conversation. But when you're like distracted, you'll not be able to make a good communication when you don't have eye contact. You feel like the other person feel like you're distracted.
Yes. You are distracted, you are not paying attention, you are not interested. When we have a eye contact, then listeners who are engaged with the speaker tends to give eye contact, make proper eye contact. This shows that the listener is interested and they are even paying proper attention to their body language. They'll know whether the information is relevant, is right or not, seeing their body language, gestures, postures also. So lack of eye contact can be a sign of distraction. Even it can be a sign of someone's personality, that the person is very shy. Shy person, he or she is not comfortable in looking towards other person and speaking. So lack of eye contact with the speaker can be a sign of ineffective listening. And inappropriate posture, leaning backward, coming forward, swinging on the chair, rotating your chair, uh, playing drum on table, etc. are the sign of bad listeners. Whenever we are attentive, whenever we give our full attention, full concentration towards the person who is speaking, we will not do these things. These things simply mean that you are not listening properly, you are a bad listener, you are distracted, you're not paying proper attention to the sender of the information. People who are listening tends to lean slightly forwards towards the speaker to show that yes, we are paying proper attention physically and mentally. We are there in the conversation only. A person who is just relaxing on the chair like this, You cannot say that he or she is a good listener, but a person who just tends to come forward like this and listening, that shows that yes, he is paying proper attention towards the listener. He is listening and gaining the information. That is the sign of effective listening. But if you are just leaning, rotating your chair, these are the sign of ineffective listening. Being distracted. How you distract? Looking at the time again and again, just
Yeah,
checking on
looking at the
the,
walls all the time, looking
yes,
outside the trees.
yes. Looking at how many pages are there in my notebook, how many pages are left. Oh, only two. You start searching on for the notebook. Come on,
Yeah,
that is not required, right? Why you want to get this? Even if you hear a small, just a sound of a small droplet from outside, you'll
or a
quickly
car
look
sound,
what's it.
or a bike sound.
Yes. You quickly look outside, like what's happening? As if the outside world is more important than what's going in the meeting room.
Yeah,
So don't do that. You know, when you are sitting with your friends, you keep on what seeing the time. Everyone
yeah,
will assume that I think this he or she is not interested in sitting with us.
yeah,
Don't act childish. You know, you are into the organization. You are mature people. Even if meeting tends to be boring, just assume someday you can be on that platform and others will be listening. If they behave in the same way, how you are going to how you're going to react, what you're going to think, right? So put yourself in that position and avoid these distractions. Time will go. Even if you're seeing the time, if the session is supposed to be of 1 hour, that will be of 1 hour. Just seeing continuous time won't let that time fly. But if you're paying attention to the class, you know the time will fly.
you know what, ma'am? Few years back, ma'am, me and my father went to a ship. My father had some meeting over there. So we noticed one thing, ma'am. When we were talking there, ma'am, I saw my father that he removed his watch and he was like comfortably having a talk with them. So at the end of it, like I asked my father, like, why did you remove your watch? Like I haven't seen like before doing this. I rarely went with him. So he said like when you are like talking to someone and if you remove your watch, it shows that you don't have a time bond between them.
Yes.
You're free to talk to them.
Right. You do not run with time. You know, as soon as you see the time, okay, it's this much of time, so I should wind up quickly. Those things doesn't happen. Even
Yeah.
for my sessions, what I do, if I'm going to see my time, it is going to distract me. So just
Yeah.
set the alarm 5 minutes prior to the session that now it's a time for me to wind up the session. So it gives me the idea also, and it gives me space also that I can freely talk. I don't have to keep a track of the time. That okay, I just have 10 minutes, I just have 20 minutes. No, I can easily go with the flow. As soon as I get my alarm that it's all only 5 minutes are left for the session to wind up, I can simply jump to the conclusion, or I'll just try to stop at that point of time. You know, many times you might have noticed that I'm supposed to start a new session, new topic, but I don't. Reason is
Yeah.
only 3-4 minutes are left. What's the use to start a new topic? If
Yeah.
I start, I'll have to start that same thing again in the next class. So it's better to go with the revision. So always keep these distracting things away from you. You know those tic tac pens,
Yeah,
pressing
ma'am.
it from, those are the most annoying thing which can be there in the meeting. When there is silence, a person who just want to distract, who's distracted, he's playing with that noise. You know that noise irritates everyone.
Yeah.
So avoid those destructive things in the meeting room. Fourth, inappropriate expression and lack of head nod. A person is speaking, is looking towards you to check whether you are listening, you are understanding, and you are sitting like a statue. You know the
Daydreaming.
person is seeing you.
Yeah.
and nothing, no reaction, no expressions. A blank statue is sitting. At that point, the speaker thinks it's better to have statue rather than having living people in that. Just assume not getting any response, how you will feel, right? That is
Yeah.
a very bad thing for the speaker. Speaker get so much irritated at that point of time. But there again, he comes up with this quality. He just try to speak few lines. He just try to bring some fun where he can get those head nods, expression from the living statue sitting in the meeting. That's what they are.
Yeah.
So you don't have to do that. Always see what takes to nod your head. It gives a relaxation to the speaker that yes, the other person is understanding what I'm speaking. A simple expression of a smile, it will motivate that person. It will make him sure that yes, you have understood, right? If
Yeah.
you are not giving these things, the other person, if he is a very uh, busy speaker, maybe he's having some more sessions, what he'll do, okay, he'll say, okay, so everyone has understood, let's wind up the session. You won't even get a chance to clarify your doubts. So it's better to go with these expressions. Nodding head is a sign of attention. It's, it's a subconscious way of saying that yes, we are present there mentally and physically and we are listening to you. So use those signs. Sudden change in the topic. We were going with communication and now we are talking about team building. People will not understand what we are supposed to do. Or it can be we are going with the communication and activity. He told, let's have an activity to understand the concept of communication better. Okay. And now what we are doing? We are doing a pyramid activity. Now, is pyramid activity related to the topic?
No.
No. Then how it's related to communication? So sudden change in the topic will distract you. You will be confused, like what are we studying? Are we studying about communication? Are we studying about team building? Because in team building, communication is also there, right? The confusion will arise. Should we take all these points for team building, or we should improve these points for better communication? So make sure that your contents are not suddenly changing the topic or taking you off the topic. Being a speaker, you should have a good hold on what you are about to speak and what session you are taking. 6th point, selective listening. You just think that yes, we have heard the main point or have got the uh, important points from what the speaker wanted to say, and you just relax, don't pay attention. How do you know that the first 2 points were only important? What if those were just a
We
briefing?
just listen to the important points. Like we make up our mind. Like, okay, these are the important points. We need to listen
Yes,
to just to this.
yes, we don't listen to important points. We listen to our mind's important point, that yes, our mind told these four are the important point, take this 4 point and relax.
Yeah.
But actually that is not the ultimate in a whole conversation. And at the end, what you think? Oh, this also was discussed in the meeting. I wasn't aware about that. Why these things come? Why these things come in the organization?
When we don't listen to the whole whatever they said, we just listen to in the middle of it and we judge the whole conversations.
Yes, a conversation was going on. We are planning for a family outing. We took the important thing, okay, we are planning for a family outing, that's it. But after that, there was one add-on line saying, yeah, we are planning for family outing, but this time as we are going for tracking, so we are thinking to keep children excluded from that outing. And now on the day of outing, wow. To your sudden
The kids are
surprises,
ready.
yes, your kids are ready, you are ready, you're about to leave, someone, your bus is at the door, and you're seeing no one has got the kid. Why? Still, you are not concerned that I should ask, no, no, let me take my kids. And when you reach the destination, there is a surprise waiting for you. So, this is the effect of selective listening.
Yeah.
So, what happens there now? Everyone will be staring you,
Yeah.
and all of a sudden, the
Now they
enjoyment.
will say you didn't tell us that we are going for trekking.
Yes, yes,
Yeah.
yes. Even if you're going for tracking, kids are allowed. But this time it was communicated that we are not going to take kids along with us. So don't
Yeah.
go with selective listening. Even a small information can be of great use, can stop you from causing a blunder and from being a laughing center for your colleagues or for your friends. Don't do that. Go with the complete listening. It's better to listen completely or avoid completely. You know that incomplete information is the is so bad that it can land you into great troubles. So always have the complete information or zero information. Daydreaming. Yeah, it's a meeting, it's a session. Who is going to take care of the session? These sessions are not of any use for me. Let me just dream. Wow, this weekend I think I should go out. Oh, we are daydreaming. Actually, we don't have any plans. Right now, honestly speaking, we don't have any plans. But it's just the time of the day we just want to pass that 1 hour of that meeting. So we have started daydreaming. Setting chains of unrelated thoughts. We are planning to go out. We are planning, okay, going out. Let me make a plan for out of India. Now, in your dream, you have made the plan, you have packed your bags, you have visited that place, you have came back, and the plan is off now. In 1 hour, you did everything. Stop daydreaming when you are into middle of any important conversation.
Yeah.
Last is advising. What is advising? Jumping early into conversation and starting advising, oh, this should be done this way, you can go for this thing, can we plan out
Yeah.
this thing? Come on, at least listen what are the plans the speaker is having. Being a speaker, when he is standing in front of you, he has already made the complete content, the complete discussion, that these are the points we are going to discuss, this is the flow of the discussion. Why you want to be an advisor? नहीं, इंडिया में फ्री मुफ्त की एडवाइस बहुत मिलती है. That happens in the organization. Everyone is ready to advise you. Each and every
एडवाइस
person.
सबके पास है मैम.
Hmm?
एडवाइस सबके पास है.
Advice सबके पास है, but they don't realize whether that advice is going to work or not. Because until
Yeah.
and unless you don't know the exact content, you cannot advise, you cannot give them the right advice. Here we are not talking about stop giving advices. We are talking about listen to the entire thing, understand the entire thing, and then come up with your advice. Jumping in between is never a good solution. So yes, with this we have completed some common things which act as a barrier in communication. But
Yeah.
now from next session, we will discuss in detail about barriers to effective communication. Like the first barrier which we will discuss is linguistic barrier. What is linguistic barrier?
I heard the name but not getting exact meaning, ma'am.
Okay, let's make it simple. It is the language barrier.
Okay, language barrier. Okay.
Yes, linguistic barriers are the language barriers. So we'll be starting with the linguistic barrier.
Okay.
Topic looks very small, that ma'am, what we are going to discuss in linguistic barrier. It's as simple as don't use the language which is not understandable by both the parties, right?
Yeah.
That's the meaning, that's the line which comes in our mind, but we have lot more things to discuss in detail about linguistic barrier. So we'll be doing that in the next session. Take your break. We'll meet at 9:50 with the second session of the day, that is MS Office Basics. You were
Yeah.
not there in insert menu, right?
No.
We'll be doing insert menu today.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Bye bye. Take care.
Okay.
See you
Bye.
10 after 10 minutes. Bye.